Alright people, welcome to Conquer and Commander. Today we're going to be looking at a Commander game featuring my Adamaro First to Desire deck. Go to puremtgo.com, look up Conquer and Commander, you can see the full deck list. Hopefully I'll have a link to the deck list put up in the description of this video as well. Let's take a look at my opponents. First we've got Molimo Maro Sorcerer. Molio can present challenges because he obviously scales with the amount of lands he puts out there, and the more card draw he gets, the more lands he gets to draw. Molimo actually drops pretty quickly in this game, so he's not much of a factor. Damia is good because if you play her, I can't get her to stick here, she automatically makes Adamaro a 7/7 almost every turn unless she dumps her hand, which she can do. Damia is always a very threatening commander as well, just due to the continuous card draw. Momir can obviously tutor up anything he wants whenever he wants and draw stuff as well. I know the guy who is piloting this deck, and it's interesting because both of these guys aren't technically bringing optimal builds, I guess, to the table. We'll kind of watch and see as that goes. My opening hand has 3 lands plus Lightning Greaves, Star Compass, Gauntlet of Might, and Adamaro obviously likes all 3 of those. Crucible of Worlds is kind of a lesser card in this hand because obviously I don't have any fetches, but this is an automatic keep. I can want to try and do turn 2 Lightning Greaves, turn 3 Adamaro, and then put turn 4 Gauntlet of Might or Star Compass. I don't know if you saw right here, but obviously I get a little bit of recognition sometimes when I play. So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Here it doesn't turn out really to be either, but you know, people can recognize me, and we'll see how it goes. A whole lot of nothing except a fetch land for Momir in the first turn. I'm able to play the turn 2 Lightning Greaves. I draw into Terrain Generator and Blasphemous Act. Molimo does nothing. Damia doesn't really... Oh, Quirion Dryad, who can get pretty big, actually. Momir has another fetch. I'm able to play Adamaro and put the Lightning Greaves on him. Right now, I just want to hit somebody that's open, and Molimo is the first guy here, so I'm going to go after Molimo. And I hit him, and he concedes, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you know, what are you going to do? So Damia plays Blood Scrivener, which is a little interesting, and it turns out that this deck seems like it's a little bit of a draft leftovers deck, just like a bunch of fun stuff that he threw in together. So Blood Scrivener is a good card in the right deck. Damia probably not the right deck for it. The Momir player plays Worldly Tutor to tutor something fun up, I assume. It's Wood Elves so that he can ramp a little bit. Command Tower into Wood Elves. I still don't have this version of Command Tower yet. But anyways, I attack Damia because I'm more worried about Damia, and he's got a blocker. Both of my opponents only have 5 cards in hand, so I'm hoping that I get some sort of card draw card here soon. I have Chaos Warp here, and I'm going to try and hold that as long as possible until either Momir or Damia comes out. But things don't always go as planned. First, oh no, I go ahead and play Gauntlet just to pump Adamaro. So Damia has all the land that they need, and they play Liliana's Shade, making Quirion Dryad bigger. I like the Shade. It's a nice little bit of ramp. Well, not technically ramp, but you know, mana fixing, I guess, in terms of getting another swamp. Momir plays another land and does nothing, and that makes me a little concerned. I'm not really 100% sure what to expect from Momir. My guess is it's a bounce spell or something like that. I do have Greaves to protect from spot removal right now. So I go ahead and draw into Buried Ruin. And you can see I'm like, I play the Star Compass, and I've got Molten Psyche, but I don't want to get rid of my Chaos Warp until I use it. And then Crucible here isn't really going to do anything because my Buried Ruin isn't going to be able to get anything out of the graveyard. So I attack the Damia player again, and she lets it through. So at the end of my turn, probably to prevent Adamaro from getting bigger, there's Jace's Ingenuity from the Momir player, which is going to make Adamaro bigger. I love Adamaro's art. His art is freaking awesome. So yeah, he gets up to an 8/8, and then Damia kind of hurts herself a little bit with City of Brass over. And then there's Tidings, making Adamaro even bigger. Howling Mine from the Momir player, which is interesting, and I'm perfectly happy with that. And then Elvish Archdruid. So obviously an elf-themed deck. So I draw into the core, which I don't want to get rid of anything yet, and Warhammer. But I can't play Warhammer and equip Adamaro because I've got Greaves and no other creatures out right now. Which is a little frustrating, but what am I going to do? So I go after Momir right now because I'm worried about him accumulating a ton of mana. I play Crucible just to play Crucible. And my hope is that there'll be another artifact out here for me to blow up with into the core, or somebody plays a commander so I can Chaos Warp them. And Damia does nothing. Momir plays Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay, now that's definitely an issue. And he taps Elvish Archdruid to equip the sword onto the Wood Elves, so obviously he wants to keep his blue mana up for something. He doesn't attack with the Wood Elves, but now I've got targets for my 2 spells here. I decided to try. It doesn't look like Damia is going to come out anytime soon, and I'm not 100% worried about Momir now that I know it's an elf deck. So I'm going to try and use the Chaos Warp to get rid of the sword. But unfortunately, that's going to run into Rewind. So he gets to untap and do everything. Now, I draw Viashino Heretic, but I don't really realize it right now. So what I try to do first is into the core, the Howling Mine, and the sword. Because into the core needs 2 targets. But then that meets with Psychic Strike, which is an interesting target counter spell, and it'll make me mill a couple of lands in my graveyard, which is nice because I've got Crucible out there already. Whole lot of drama in order to get rid of the sword. Yeah. And I end up realizing that, hey, look, there's Viashino Heretic, and I've got mana, so I'm just going to put him out there, equip him with the Greaves, and get rid of the sword. Which I do right there. And then I attack the Momir player with Adamaro. Right now, Quirion Dryad's big, and Liliana can get pumped, so the 2 of them together with pumping Liliana's Shade can kill Adamaro. So that's why I'm going after Momir right now. And he doesn't block because he wants to accumulate the mana for the Elvish Archdruid. I don't want to. Well, I can't play the Warhammer out there right now. And I do have High Market in case there's some sort of random tuck spell that I can't think of off the top of my head. So Damia gets another land and plays Mole Drifter to draw a few more cards. Hardcasts it, makes Quirion Dryad bigger. And then she plays Lightning Greaves. Okay. So I'm a little worried about what he's going to Greaves, but Greaves is the Dryad just to have the big blocker. And Momir does nothing. So it's interesting. I'm a little curious about what's going on here. I draw a couple of cards. First I play the Warhammer. And this is a mistake. I forget that I can draw from my graveyard with, or play a land with Crucible from my graveyard. So I miss a land drop here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Warhammer and equip Adamaro. Oh, and I play the Welder too. Oh no. Well, yeah. First, what I do is I Molten Psyche because I don't care about sphere of resistance. Blasphemous Act isn't something I want to use right now. I'm expecting something to come from Momir and react as a result of this. Oh no, you know what? I did make my land drop. What am I thinking? But Momir ends up doing nothing. And so, because I have Metalcraft, Damia goes down to 23, Momir goes down to 16. I draw into more land, which is kind of a bummer, but what are you going to do? So then I equip Adamaro, and I put Greaves on him, and I go after Momir, and Momir concedes before I can do my damage. Alright. And I talked to the Momir player a little bit, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to give the Damia player a chance, because I don't think he's going to be able to handle you. And I'm like, well, we'll see. So the Damia player plays Scuttlemutt, which isn't a big deal, and puts the Greaves on it to tap mana, and then comes out with Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs obviously scales and is better with more players out there. I draw another land. At this point, my plan is I'm at 40 and I've got Warhammer. I'm just going to and I've got a lot of mana. I'm just going to keep crushing through with Adamaro. He's going to die every time I attack, but I'm going to be able to keep attacking with him over and over again with the Greaves to be able to gain some life. And that's what I do. So first, he blocks with the Dryad and Kokusho, so I kill the Dryad and let Kokusho leave. I go up to 49, and then I replay Adamaro. And I put a mountain into play using Terrain Generator. I still haven't gotten any card draw. And we go from there. Damia plays 3 visits to ramp a little bit. And then Brilliant Plan to draw some more cards. And plays Centaur's Herald. Obviously not anything really worth worrying about at this point. He says he tapped his mana wrong. So I use Vishnu Heretic to blow up the Scuttlemutt. I draw another land. But luckily it's another fetch. And I've got a fetch in here as well. So I can start trying to thin my deck out a little bit with fetch lands and Crucible. Now I'm going to move my Greaves over onto my Goblin Welder, and I'm going to put my Warhammer on Adamaro and go in for some more damage. This time he only throws, he throws Kokusho and the Shade in front of it, and killing Kokusho, so he's able to gain some life, even though he takes like a couple points of damage from Adamaro. I play Adamaro again because that's all I can do, and I put another land into play, and basically it's a couple turns of this over and over again. There's Trigon Predator, which can be an issue. I specifically left enough mana untapped so that I could blow up the Greaves if I needed to with the Heretic, and this comes in handy right now. So I blow up the Greaves so he can't attack right now. And then he plays Animate Dead, animating Kokusho back to gain some more life and create a blocker. And then he Farseeks. And then he sacrifices the Herald. And it's at this point he makes a conscious decision not to... My guess is it's a conscious decision not to play Damia, just to make sure that Adamaro stays small. So that's an interesting bit of strategy right there. I end up playing some lands, and I get Steel Hellkite, and I draw it, and I play it, and I equip it with the Warhammer, and I attack. Now the good thing about the Hellkite is that I have Goblin Welder, so I can sacrifice Star Compass for it or something like that. And I also have Buried Ruin, just in case I run out of stuff to sacrifice. But he's big, he's evasive, he pumps, and with Warhammer, he can pump too as well. And Trample. Trample, that's what I was going to say. So I kill Kokusho again, and I kill Moldrifter again. And the Hellkite dies, but I pump it a couple times. And I knock... He goes up to 18 because of Kokusho. Um, but let's see. So he plays Thesis, or whatever the hell that name of that card is. How do you Thesis? I don't know. I don't play in real life, so I have no idea how to pronounce this. And this would probably hurt me more if Adamaro was big, but he was only like a 3/3 or something, so not a big deal. I'm still at 55. And then he plays Pithing Needle. Alright, well, I'm a little worried. I'm like, holy cow, Pithing Needle. I better use my Goblin Welder right now, forgetting that, oh yeah, I've got Vishnu Heretic right here. So he's going to name, I sacrifice my Star Compass to bring my Hellkite back. He names Welder. I use the Heretic to blow it up. It ends up not mattering. I sacrifice my Panorama to another mountain. There's Howling Mine. But at this point, he's low enough on life that I don't want to put the Howling Mine out there right now. I don't want to get... He's got no cards in hand. I don't want to give him opportunities to draw into something that can help him. So, once again, I put the Greaves and Warhammer on Hellkite, and I pump the crap out of it. He does end up blocking with the Trigon Predator with the new Modern Masters art. And I don't have enough mana to take him out right now. But I am able to knock him down to like 4, I think, or something. So yeah, he's at 4. And he ends up drawing Diabolic Revelation. And unfortunately, he doesn't really have anything. He says that he has a card in his deck that he could have survived another turn with. But he mistapped his mana. I have no idea what that card was, but he ends up conceding. And that's the game. So, there we go. Fun with Adamaro. Not the best game in the world, but it was still fun. Alright, thanks.